Amid the Canadian Prime Minister's allegations of a potential link against India and Indian agents on the killing of Khalistani extremist Hardeep Singh Nijjar, India gets support now. India getting support from its neighbours in the subcontinent. Sri Lanka and Bangladesh have backed India. Sri Lanka's minister has said, and I quote him here, "Safe haven for terror being provided in Canada." Ali Sabri says Canada lied about the genocide in Sri Lanka. Bangladesh foreign minister also said, India does not do immature things. Listen in to the support coming in for India.
We are deeply concerned by the allegations referenced by Prime Minister Trudeau. We remain in close contact with our Canadian partners, as the Secretary said on Friday. We believe it's critical that Canada's investigation proceed and that the perpetrators be brought to justice. And we have publicly and privately urged the Indian government to cooperate in the Canadian investigation.
We are very proud of India because they don't do immature things. We have a very solid relationship with India. And these are based on values and principles. So this is a sad episode. I hope this should end up amicably.
All right, so there was also, remember, Ali Sabri, who's given out a statement, and he has said that that they stand by India, and at this juncture, Canada is giving safe haven to terrorists. We listen in now to what Sri Lanka's foreign minister said.
Yeah, we have always suffered, and some of the terrorists have found safe haven in Canada. Canadian Prime Minister has this way of just coming out with some outrageous allegations without any supporting proof. The same thing they did for Sri Lanka, a terrible, total lie about saying that Sri Lanka had a genocide. Everybody knows there was no genocide in our country. And I saw yesterday he had gone and given a rousing welcome to somebody who have associated with the Nazis in the past on the Second World War. So this is questionable, and we have dealt it in the past. We have categorically rejected those outrageous allegations. So I'm not surprised that sometime Prime Minister Trudeau comes out with outrageous, unsubstantiated allegations.
All right, let's go across now for a live update coming in from Toronto and specifically areas where the Khalistani protests had also taken place. Anisha, it's a good note that our neighbours, Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, have come out in support of India and how Canada is providing safe haven to these extremists. What did you see when the Khalistani groups were protesting against India outside Indian high commissions? Was the number very high? Was it low? Or clearly it also exposed how the Khalistani extremists remain a fringe group?
Well, Pooja, to be fair, the numbers were very low. There were only about 45 people, if that much, in Toronto outside the consulate office this morning. Similar numbers, I think, were seen in Vancouver and Ottawa as well. But what is worrying is that this seems to be a very, very loud and very, very aggressive minority. However, one very interesting aspect that I did see, and my colleague who was in Vancouver also saw, is that the Canadian police was leaving no stone unturned to make sure that there was no untoward incidents. Barricades were set up. There were riot police, there were metropolitan police, there were members of the federal RCP. All possible police departments were deployed around the consulate area, at least here in Toronto and in Vancouver, to make sure, because recently, you remember, in July, when the last time there was a protest here, there was also a counter-protest by Indians, which led to an almost clash-like situation. And to prevent that, there was a very, very heavy police presence, at least here in Toronto. Even in Ottawa, for the first time, we saw barricading, heavy barricading being put around the High Commission office. So clearly, this is something that is being taken seriously by the Canadian authorities. But it is a worrying factor, because we've been talking to people here on the in the community, that there is a sense of unease that is there because of just how much this issue has gained traction. It is not that the Khalistan demand or the people who are supporting Khalistan are new to Canada. They've been here for several decades. But now with this very, very loud, aggressive campaign and these kind of protests going on,
yes,
people here are questioning why is it being allowed to go this far.
That's the whole question. And why would Canada, and why is Canada letting its soil be misused by any extremist group against specifically a friendly nation, India, this time? Thank you so much for now. Anisha Mathur is in Canada, and she is constantly giving us updates and is speaking to scores of people, from common citizens to parliamentarians and journalists as well. Looking forward to your coverage, Anisha Mathur from Toronto.